What stories may impact the result of the election?
Maybe, we're in a situation where there are too many surprises.
Caplin News goes live from our DC bureau, gets the take of a pollster, the music world and its fans.
I'm shocked. I don't believe this is happening.
Mourning the loss of Liam Payne. FIU hosts a concert for Hispanic musical icon.
Me siento muy contento.
While they debut their latest album. And locals raving over this Kendall barbecue spot.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I had it tomorrow.
And the owner's inspiring story. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Julian Lascano.
I'm Denise Diaz. Today is Thursday, October 17, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
All eyes in Washington are looking out for the possible turning point in a presidential election. If that turning point comes in the last month before Election Day, it's known as an October surprise.
Caplin News DC Bureau reporter Anthony Cruz is live in Washington. More on the story of the term.
Yeah, so the term October surprise came into the mainstream during the 1980 election when Ronald Reagan's campaign chief Bill Casey and other Republicans feared that a last-minute solution to the Iranian hostage crisis would sway voters towards incumbent Jimmy Carter. And it has been relevant ever since, most notably in 2016 when FBI Director James Comey decided to reopen Hillary Clinton's email investigations case just over a month out from the election. I spoke to FIU political scientist Eduardo Gamara to see if in this election that has already been full of surprises and seems too close to call, if one story can truly impact the final result.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
This election already witnessed a summer surprise that impacted polls, as Vice President Kamala Harris's entry into the race saw the Democratic Party topple Donald Trump in key battleground states and in some of the national polls. But they have since leveled and have stayed tight, despite the fact that in this past month we've seen back-to-back hurricanes hitting the southeast, the potential for escalation in the Middle East, and veteran journalist Bob Woodward's book, War, reigniting questions about former President Donald Trump's relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, among other issues.
Well, maybe, we're in a situation where there are too many surprises. And also because, we are so polarized, and because the elections will be in the end determined by pure and simple 1 or 2 percentage points, then it becomes extraordinarily complicated for especially for a pollster to say, look, it was the Iran ballistic attack on Israel. It was Woodward's book.
Gamara says that the real poll is the one that happens on November 5th.
Polling wise, though, we have to go back to the electorate. We would ask, to what extent, like we're asking now, to what extent, for example, does abortion matter in your decision to vote for a candidate, right? We'll ask that, but retrospectively.
And speaking of the polarization of this case, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's strategies this week have been to win voters in the margins, as seen by Harris's interview with Fox News yesterday, where she continues her campaign to try to garner Republicans who do not feel comfortable voting for Trump, as well as other undecideds. While the former president was on Univision yesterday trying to continue to make grounds with Latino voters, which many polls indicate that he has been successful in. Reporting for Caplin News, live from Washington, D.C., I'm Anthony Cruz.
And this morning we have details on the death of solo star and former One Direction member Liam Payne. As Caplin's Sarah Mercedes reports, he died yesterday at a hotel in Argentina.
The former One Direction member was pronounced dead yesterday afternoon after falling off a balcony from a hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Casa Sur, Palermo.
In a 911 call recording released overnight, a receptionist can be heard identifying the name and location of the hotel.
Necesitamos que nos envíen a alguien urgente.
He goes on to tell the dispatcher that the staff is in urgent need over a guest acting erratically inside a room with a third-floor balcony. In his words, tearing the whole room apart, overwhelmed by drugs and alcohol. The caller says he has reason to believe the guest would do something to put his life at risk. The guest who fell from that balcony was identified as Liam Payne by Alberto Crescenti, the head of the state emergency medical system, saying, quote, Payne was found dead at the site and had severe injuries as a result of his fall, end quote.
Everything you say to me
Within minutes of the news breaking, hundreds of fans rushed to the area to pay their respects with candles, flowers, and tears.
I'm very nervous about this news because I'm a fan of One Direction. Since I was a kid, I went to the concert. I'm from Brazil. I went to the concert. I'm nervous, really nervous, because it's my idol, and I'm shocked. I don't believe this is happening.
For Liam, it was a return to Argentina, where he had been earlier this month for the concert of his former bandmate Niall Horan.
Everybody to your right, please!
The two pop stars were part of the famed British boy band One Direction, which also included Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, and Louis Tomlinson. The band took a break in 2015, and most of its members went on to solo careers, including Payne, who released a single in March. Liam leaves behind one son, Bear, born in 2017, to his former partner, Cheryl Cole. Authorities have not confirmed what the 911 caller said about drugs and alcohol. It is still early on in the investigation. Liam Payne was 31 years old. In the control center, Sara Mercedes for Caplin News.
New developments in the Menendez brothers' murder case could possibly see them released from prison. Nearly 24 family members of Lyle and Eric Menendez gathered during a news conference in Los Angeles yesterday to plead for their release from prison. This comes as the new evidence weighed in on a letter that Eric wrote to his cousin months before the murder of his parents in 1989, talking about his allegations of sexual abuse by his father, Jose Menendez. Lyle and Eric were sentenced in 1996 and served life sentences.
Elon recently donated nearly $75 million to the pro-Trump super PAC that he himself helped form. New filings with the Federal Election Commission have detailed 7 separate contributions from Elon Musk to America PAC between the months of July and September. America PAC first detailed its initial funding from a network of Musk's former associates and business partners. At this moment, the super PAC has spent nearly $96 million on the presidential race and several millions of dollars on highly competitive House races.
Making sweet music together is always exciting time for our community. Caplin News reporter Nicolette Sper was there this week for a live streaming collaboration between international superstar Yandel and the FIU Symphony Orchestra.
Tonight, a crowd will be gathered around to witness a special performance as the FIU Symphony Orchestra takes the stage with Puerto Rican artist Yandel. This collaboration is going to be ecstatic for all viewers watching.
The most exciting yet challenging part about this performance is the fusion that was created when blending the classical music and the rhythmic beats of reggaeton.
It has the same elements, you know, we get a score, everything's written out in notation so that we can take it to a practice room and learn it the way that we're used to learning it. Something that was different for us as we come into rehearsal, we are used to working with the orchestra, but then we have a live band and everybody's on a click track so that it puts other sound effects and it keeps everybody together. And style-wise, that's something that is very different for us, and it was very exciting and very efficient the way that it was all put together. It's the way that we hoped it sounded as we rehearsed it.
Although the blend of reggaeton and classical music is unique, the impact that this performance has on the young musicians is much more extraordinary.
Me siento muy contento de estar aquí, de poder compartir el arte con la juventud. Yo nunca tampoco había experimentado cantar con una banda tan grande. Tú sabes, eso nunca había pasado en mi carrera y por eso estoy súper motivado, estoy aquí muy contento, de verdad, de corazón. Gracias a todos los estudiantes por la oportunidad, gracias por sacarle su tiempo, gracias por meterle esmero y vamos a ver los frutos. Tú vas a ver cómo va a quedar eso.
At the Wertheim School, music isn't just notes on a page, it's a place to practice your craft and connect with people from all walks of life. This performance shows the school's commitment to nurturing talent and creating a space for innovation.
Our FIU strategic plan places arts and culture as one of the strategic priorities of the institution, to be a leader in arts and culture. By partnering with industry, we're enabled to do that, give our students an experiential learning opportunity. What better way to learn your craft as a musician than to be mentored by Yandel?
This performance tonight is more than just about music. It's about cultural and creativity coming together to create such a wonderful blend of different genres put together. For Caplin News, I'm Nicolette Esper.
And a first in human history, the global water cycle is off balance. According to a new report published Wednesday by the Global Commission on the Economics of Water, decades of destructive land use and water mismanagement have collided with human-caused climate crisis to put out, quote, an unprecedented stress on the world's water cycle. Reports say that distributions to the water cycle are deeply intertwined with climate change.
Disney park visitors might want to bring extra cash after the company unveiled a new all-access Skip the Line pass that could cost more than your actual ticket. Whether you go to Disney in Orlando or California, the Your Line in Line Premier Pass can range from $100 to almost $500 for the day. Those in Orlando can only purchase them if they are staying at one of Disney's deluxe hotels, while guests in California can all access the passes at any time.
Time set aside to recognize a foodie favorite.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
My business had collapsed during the pandemic, and I was just looking for something to hold on to, something that would connect people and share a little bit of love and laughter, and barbecue has always been that in my family, and so it seemed like the perfect time to get this going.
A local restaurant is gaining recognition, but talking about the food is only half the story. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
I debate all day. It's what I do. But there are some things that are undebatable, like your mental health. I was in a dark place when my brother passed away in a car accident. I was depressed in ways I never imagined. I reached out, and my sisters came, my pastor, my therapist. They helped me get through it. I found that the more I spoke up, the healthier my mind became. When you love your mind, you can go so much further. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
After overcoming long odds, a local barbecue lover is tasting success. Calling all barbecue lovers to Apocalypse Barbecue, where your food dream can come true.
Caplin News' reporter Benjamin Cure has a story on the hidden gem in Kendall.
In the heart of South Florida, Apocalypse Barbecue is more than just a restaurant. It's a symbol of resilience. Owner Jeff Budd, who's a two-time cancer survivor, opened up this southern barbecue spot during the pandemic and has been serving up Miami's best ever since.
My business had collapsed during the pandemic, and I was just looking for something to hold on to, something that would connect people and share a little bit of love and laughter, and barbecue has always been that in my family, and so it seemed like the perfect time to get this going.
So it was actually Jeff's personal struggles that allowed him to not just embrace challenges, but use them as fuel, igniting the heart of Apocalypse Barbecue.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I had it tomorrow, and so when COVID came around, I kind of felt like I had already had practice for that. I had already kind of been in the game.
It's really about the community, about the local experience and the high quality food that they serve here. It's always something that is a new experience every time, yet consistent.
The brisket and the ribs are definitely the most popular item here, and it speaks for itself. We sell out around 4 p.m. every day. I think that people love it so much because it's the quality of the food, the love that people put into making it.
So whether it's the delicious food or the inspiring story, Jeff and Apocalypse Barbecue have already left a lasting impact on South Florida. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Benjamin Cure.
From fettuccine Alfredo to spaghetti bolognese, pasta fanatics all around the county rejoice today for the National Pasta Day. The beloved noodle is known around the world for its diverse and versatile nature, with over 300 different kinds of variations. Whether it's served hot or cold, savory or sweet, subtle or spicy, today's the day to celebrate your love for pasta with friends and family and never say no to more cheese. You are watching Newsbreak, and we are coming right back.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Lascano.
I am Denise Diaz. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.